K-Rino Radio. K-Rino Radio. Let's tell them about it. You're listening to K-Rino Radio on 90.1. Who is he? What is he? What does he do? Where is he from? H-Town, where the independent grind was invented. Understand, I'm the property owner, you just a tenant. KPFT is the station and location for the really special guests. Good knowledge and information for the coldest on the air. We making a strong case. If you scared of the truth, then you in the wrong place. Every Friday, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. We cooking the game, serving it up, feeding your mental. You can even call in, dial 713, backdoor with 526 KPFT. We ain't playing with them, we gon' tell it like it is, partner. Out of town, KPFT.org, yeah, we got ya. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. How'd I get on the airways? I know y'all like, wow, K-Rino Radio, homie, starting right about now. Yes, indeed, man. And y'all heard the man rapping on the microphone. He said we starting right about now, and that's exactly what we are doing. I want to welcome y'all and thank y'all for tuning in to K-Rino Radio right here on KPFT 90.1 FM. If you're listening right now, make sure you call somebody, text somebody, holler out the window, let them know to tell a friend, a homeboy to tune in as well. They can check it out at 90.1 FM or online at kpft.org. The number to call in if you want to join in on the conversation is 713-526-KPFT. And it's going down, man. It's going down once again. We have a special guest in the building tonight. I'm honored to have my brother, my homie, my friend. We be at the Fundy. Well, I be playing basketball a lot of the time, you know what I'm saying? He be in there in that weight room, hitting that iron, getting it in, and dropping that knowledge on us, you know what I'm saying? But my brother, he is a builder, man. He's a home designer. He's a contractor. He's a black man trying to make it in this world. And I'm honored to have him here with us today. He's going to share some of his knowledge and the history of his business and what he does. And also to give us information on how we can, if we're interested in that field or any field we're in, how we can become independent and free to do our own thing as well. So I want to thank my brother, Alexander Muhammad, is in the building. Thank you for joining us tonight, big brother.
Thank you for having me, K-Rino. I'm honored.
Man, it's an honor to have you here, man. We're going to get right into it, brother. We want you to tell the people, first of all, what you do and how you started getting into what you do, and just give the people an understanding of that so they can be familiarized with your role out here in this world, big brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, when I was a little boy, I always wanted to build. Right. And in my neighborhood, no one actually did any building, but when I went around the city and I used to see a lot of construction, and, you know, my mind would just wither off, you know, to where I say, I'm going to do that one day.
Yeah.
But I think it was in 1992 or 3 where one of my fraternity brothers, he wanted to get a house.
Right.
And, you know, at that time I was selling real estate, you know, I'm a real estate broker. And so we went to the new home builder, and he looked at plans, they looked at homes, and so they chose a particular one, and they said they had to build it.
Right.
So at that point, we waited. They called us about 3 months later and said the home was ready, so we went and did a walkthrough, and I got my closing statement. The owners got their closing statement. I looked to see if my commission was, you know,
on
proper.
Point. Right.
That's right. And then I saw what the builder was making. I say, man, this my customer. It's my friend. I say, man, I could do that too.
Right.
So I walked out of the closing. They didn't know what was going on. And I walked around the building, and I say, this is it. And I walked back in. They said, you all right? I said, I'm just fine. They said, what happened? You know, I had like a minute where, you know, I had to figure out. I knew this was the transition.
Right.
And since then, I just never looked back. So in 1995, I started EDHB.
Okay.
Which was at that time Eastern Design Home Builders.
Right.
Now it's EDHB Custom Homes. And right after the Million Man March, we got incorporated, and I just had that desire to just go out there and learn all I could. You know, I went to home sites, took pictures, you know, I studied. Whatever I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
That's what I went to.
So you that moment, that epiphany moment is when you realized where the money was at, who was making the real money, and you was like, I'm on the wrong side of this thing right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have not looked back.
Right.
I couldn't see myself doing anything else, you know. It's my passion. I just love it. You know, like most people, I know a lot of children play video games.
Right.
Video game for me is like designing buildings.
Yeah.
You know, I could do it all day.
Yeah.
And don't have to get paid for it.
Right.
I could go 12 hours and you say, man, you still? Yeah, man. In fact, I'm doing another one.
That's your love. So that takes from a question I was going to ask you tonight. So when you said you was young and just always had a desire just to build and see how things work like that, so you didn't actually go to school for it?
No, I didn't.
You just naturally had it in. See, that's God-given,
right.
God-given gift. Yeah.
Oh man, you know, every route that I took, I couldn't have planned it myself.
Yeah, right.
You know, when I think about it and I reflect back and I say, man, only God could take me here and get me to this point to where I can get this knowledge and that knowledge. And when I found out, you know, a lot of people go to college, and I just had a discussion. Was it yesterday? Might have been the day before. And his brother's in college right now.
Right.
And so we were talking, but this is third going on his fourth year. And he didn't have the knowledge that I had attained like in my first few weeks.
Right.
But what I learned was...
He's going for the same thing that you're doing?
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. And so what I found out, you know, conventions, man, you can get more in a week convention than you can get in 2-3 years of college.
Yes, sir.
Because you're talking right there with the people who are actually doing it every day.
Right, you're
real
skipping all that other
situations.
crap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what about, see, cause this my, so I'm always amazed at other people's gifts. You know, I do music. Some people do this, some people do that.
Yes, sir.
By not going to school, to be a builder, to be a designer and all, these things require measurements and knowing numbers and mathematics. And how did you just have a natural knack for that too, or just the measurement side of it and knowing exactly what to do? Cause that's crazy to me.
Well, I say this, you know, I was, out of all the subjects in school, from middle school, high school, even college, math was, it just made sense. So I excelled in those areas. And, you know, when you look at geometry and, you know, I can just look at things and almost tell the degree of what it is, and definitely the angle, the slope, you know. So, I mean, that's not hard, and it's not that much. You know, most of the buildings that are built in America, unfortunately, are 90-degree angles.
Right,
you know?
right.
You got 45s, you know, when you look at the roof, you know. But I think, you know, good architecture is when you really go out to the site and study, you know, the environment, you know, the nature around it, and then you design that building according to what you see around it.
See, now that's deep, bro. That's deep, because that's an artist.
But that's what you don't see.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, that's what, for people like me, that's what we don't even think about trying to see. I'm not observant like that. I'm just riding down the street seeing buildings and houses and things of that nature.
Right.
You see it in a whole nother way. Like I say, it's like an artist, it's like a producer. That whatever it is your gift is, you view it from a perspective that the rest of the world don't view it from. That's crazy.
True. I know, like, I was in Walmart, and me and another guy, and I say, man, look how they put them pipes. You see them trusses. Now, he wasn't looking at that, but that interests me.
Right.
Right. How wide open, and how many columns they had.
Right.
How thick the trusses were.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But those are things that I do observe that most people wouldn't even be.
Yeah, look, we got Big Brother Alexander Muhammad here tonight on K-Rino Radio, and it's intriguing to me because it's opening my mind up. Like when people ask me from a music standpoint, they say, "Well, man, how do you come up with concepts? How do you come up with song ideas?" That's exactly what I tell them. I say you have to be observant of your surroundings. I say it's song concepts and ideas all around you. So now you taking that in the field that you're in and are basically incorporating those same principles, but it's making us see it from that perspective as well. So now next time I'm riding through downtown or riding through wherever, I'm going to view those designs, those structures a little differently now, even though I still wouldn't know how to do it, so it is what it is, man. Let me, so that took away from another one of my questions I was going to ask you. So do you see like designs and formations of buildings in your head and, or things that you see that's wrong with a particular structure? Cause you said a minute ago, like most of the buildings are 90-degree angles, as opposed to 45-degree angles. Is that something that's wrong for it to be that, or just boring in your eyes?
It can be boring. I know why they do it. It's very cost effective.
Okay.
But when you look at a lot of the landscape of just buildings, whether it's high rise, it kind of look ugly. It's like the building next to it. It doesn't have any, symmetry with the one next to it, and then across the street.
Right.
They're all different.
Yeah.
And some look good, some don't. I saw one, I was coming down 610 in the gallery area, and it just stood out. I said, man, that's one of the ugliest buildings, and they building it right now.
Right, right. 2018 ugly.
Yeah.
They ain't even up to the modern times with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We don't have, I guess, any architectural, I ain't gonna say code, where things have to look a certain way, to blend in.
Right.
Not with high-rise buildings. People pretty much do what they want.
Right. You gave me a brochure a couple of weeks back, and it had a layout of like the closets with the and we got Sister Demetria in here tonight. She's gonna appreciate that. It had like the closet with the, matter of fact, hand her this, and I just want to see her reaction when she look at the shoe racks and purse racks. This is something that the average woman would just look at her face.
She going old wild for a second.
This is like a woman's dream, but it's also a man's dream because it don't have to be shoes and purses. It could be just whatever you have. It could be tools. It could be whatever.
Sneakers.
Sneakers, tennis shoes, whatever you have. Bruh, this is something, man, that I think that we as black people should really be getting caught up in terms of establishing our own businesses to do things like that, because it's a great market for this, bro. I want you to speak to just how you started that up through your own gift, but being a black business owner in particular, what's been the pros and cons of that and the struggles and successes of that as far as getting your business going as a black man out here in this competitive field?
Well, in 2008, when we had that economic collapse in housing, right after that, banks just quit lending.
Right.
So it was one of those things like, what are you going to do? Now I had to reinvent myself. How am I going to continue in what I'm doing and survive? A lot of companies, who was, just mega big.
Right.
Even in the billions, actually went out of business.
This was the real estate situation back in '08, the recession and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think in 2011, that's when it kind of hit my mind, okay, well, if I can't build, right now, I can't get the financing, then I have to figure out something else. So now I was thinking kitchen, bathroom, and closet, But I knew I was going to have a large showroom. And then at a certain point, it said, something hit my mind, just do the closets.
Right.
And then when I really just study, late at night, I might sleep and wake up. And then I realized, I say, man, this is what I do on the custom homes, but I never made it as a business.
Right.
And when you go into the the average neighborhood, or even where builders are building, they don't build out custom closets. And one of the reasons why is because, it takes longer, and the profit margins, they probably say, well, it's not that much.
Right.
It's no use in going through that. We'll leave that alone. And so the majority of people would love a custom closet, particularly if you can get rid of your dresser and your chest of drawer in your bedroom and have that built in your closet. So when you walk in, a good walk-in closet is you walk in, you got shoe shelves either to the left or the right, because that's the first thing you either going to take off or, when you come in your closet.
Right.
And if you're coming out, that's the last thing you're going to get is your shoes.
Right.
Then you can put in your drawers. You can get the double hang or triple hang. Your shelving for sweaters, fold up clothing, stuff like that. You can maximize, like this room right here. You can put a lot of clothes in here. A lot in here.
Right.
If you organize it right. So you don't have to have a real big space to really have a good closet.
So do you always offer just your ideas of what you see when you step into a particular situation, or do you open it up for the homeowner to help, for you to bring their vision into life?
Right. See, that homeowner, the best thing to do is analyze what they already have.
Right.
See how they're storing, the property.
Right.
And that's how we can kind of figure out, okay, I got to have enough room for this, that, and the other. And once I analyze that, then I know how to, put it together based on, their budget.
Yeah.
And then we just go from there.
Do they ever come to you and say, man, I want it like this, man. I want a chandelier in my closet, and now they come with these crazy ideas and anything like that?
They bring pictures, stuff, they may have seen on the internet or some TV show.
Gotcha.
And they're able to with technology, when I got in the building business, it wasn't no technology in construction. I mean, not even really the accounting side.
Right.
Now, with YouTube and iPhones and stuff like that, it just took it to another level.
Right. They can just give you a picture and say, do me one of these, man. Do me one of these. And it's I can imagine just on a personal level how much of, like you said, it's a space saver. It makes it possible to get a lot within a small amount of space, man.
Right.
That's what's up. Alexander Muhammad is in the building, man. We got a caller that we're going to take in real quick, man, because, look, let me tell y'all something. K-Rino Radio, we going to feed you all different kinds of food, man. And this is something that we need, and this is something that we have to have in our society in terms of, we can't just be focusing on rapping and playing basketball all the time. We have to have other fields of endeavor that we reach out and gain knowledge about. We're going to take this first call in. I see his name is Mac. Go ahead, Mac. You on K-Rino Radio.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, K-Rino?
Bless, brother.
It was kind of weird. I'm leaving my second job. I was just listening, and I wanted to get your guest information because I have a family member. Also, my mother's house was damaged pretty badly, and I couldn't get any assistance from the state or the city or what have you. And I want to see if he would be able to guide me on kind of what I can do to do it, or if he would be able to assist or kind of point me in the direction, because trying to get the repairs done, finishing the roof, sheetrock, things of that nature get really expensive. So if I can learn how to do it and get some help, things of that nature. So I just want to see if he has a contact number or if he would have any suggestions on how to go about that.
Yes, sir. I'll let him give you his information. Y'all can do that right now. Go ahead, big brother.
Oh, yes,
Thank
sir. You know, my my office number is 713
Uh-huh.
370
Okay.
5383.
Okay. And like I said, I've actually done a little bit, but, just looking around and trying to get some assistance because the state and everything, they just kind of gave her the runaround, and she still needs some work done on the home. So
Yes, sir.
I was just, trying to find out if you had any contacts or whatever, or if you had any suggestions on trying to get that done. But I will give you a call Monday morning. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the call, Brother Mac. Call in anytime. Thank you for listening. And that's what we got to do, man. We got to tie this thing together. Let me ask you something too, because it's weird. It's probably going to be a weird question, but in your field, like when the hurricane hit last year,
Okay.
business picks up after situations like that, pretty much, right?
Right.
Right. I mean, and like I say, it is what it is. It's a need for it. I would say that as black people, if we want to patronize our own, this is a brother that y'all need to get that information from, because a lot of times, and look, I ain't saying it like you just about to get no free or real super dope fiend price labor. But if you're going to go out and pay other people these high extraordinary prices, at least you spend that money with your brother. How have things been in terms of business, like after the storm and things of that nature, for you personally?
Personally, I haven't received a lot. I was just looking at just yesterday.
Yeah.
How a lot of the insurance companies have been purposely not trying to pay the people to really get their homes built.
Wow, man. Yeah, speak on
and
that.
It's such man. It's hard to try to deal with people when they don't get the monies that they really need to really fix their home properly.
And what's preventing the insurance companies? We know, but I just tell the people what's preventing the insurance companies from issuing out those funds.
Well, I don't know why. I do know they trying to maximize their profit. They take in a lot, but they don't want to let a lot go out.
Right.
And when I was looking at this video where they were Sandy, I think Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, and
a few years back.
Oh man, it was a lot of people who homes where the insurance companies actually were rewriting the engineers' reports, falsifying them, so they would not pay those claims, and that's going on, and it's gonna continue.
Yeah,
I think was it Florence?
Florence is hitting right now.
Yeah, Florence hitting, and
right.
We just had Harvey, come through. A lot of people lost homes. Houston, buying up certain properties, tearing them down, and they're gonna do a lot of stuff as well. That's probably another subject.
Yeah.
But,
no, get into it. And like I say again, I just don't understand. Like FEMA, they kicked out a little money. I know they can get stingy with the bread too, but a lot of people did get money from to repair their homes. But in a lot of cases, people complain that even the money that they got wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So, but still, whatever it is, I think we just need to make sure that we put out there our brothers and sisters who have the same services that a lot of these other companies have, but they may not be aware. We so caught up in whatever's mainstream, whoever's known. And when you got a brother sitting right here next to me that can provide those services, we want to get you more work than you able to handle, big brother.
I think one of the things that could help most homeowners is that you want to have good, proper documentation, whether it's construction drawings. You definitely want to have a good contract, not so much just someone writing out an invoice or work order. You want to have detailed, really like specifications, because, a lot of questions come up, even during construction. And when you get down to the bottom line, lack of proper documentation.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was going to look like this. Oh, well, no, I was thinking you was talking about this.
Right.
You said, well, you gave me this picture. It kind of looked like that to me.
Yeah.
And it may not be the right materials. It might be a substitute. So if you get specifications drawn up, and most people may not have the resources, or contractors have the resources to do those things. They may not be as skilled in it, but it's one of those things that I just love doing it.
Right, right. And you also you build homes from the ground up,
Right,
as well too. I mean, that's another thing. Kind of speak to that, because you know we come across people every day. Hey man, I'm getting a home built from the ground up. I'm getting home. I mean, I'm gonna keep stressing on this, bro. We have to make sure that we patronize each other, but the best way to do that is to know that we're even out there, that we even exist. What was it like? Do you remember the first time you ever designed or had a home or built a home from the ground up?
Yeah, I do. The first one, I was a little nervous.
Yeah,
you know. And because I'm thinking, man, somebody actually gonna live in this.
right.
Probably want to do this right.
Right,
you know?
right. No question.
But when you start with the foundation, I think what I had the biggest, I'm not gonna say really a problem, but had this anxiety was when I did this house and we had to drill piers, and I had never did this before.
And what is that? What's the piers? What's the
when you drill so many feet deep, you know, and you got these pilings to get to a certain point to where the building will be stable.
Right.
Where, you know, when you do a regular foundation, you might dig 36-inch beams with post-tension cables, or you stretch these, you know what they call them, they stress the cables.
Right.
It pulls the slab in, and they tighten it so tight to where it won't move, so that whole slab could float like this here, you know, if the ground moved.
Right.
But when you use piers, you don't use cables, so it's all steel, but you got steel that drills so many pilings in the ground.
Right.
And to make sure it was done right, you know, I'm reading my construction drawings, and I'm saying, well, it looked just like, you know, on the paper, you know.
You're doing it on the fly, man. Yeah.
But, you know, and then the engineer come out and he
inspected
it, looked at it, he said, oh man, it looks just fine. You know, we poured it. You know, one thing about piers, once you drill it, you gotta actually pour that concrete and then, because it could collapse if you leave it overnight.
Gotcha.
So got that in, you know. Once I thought about it, I say, man, it's not really nothing. And now it's just easy.
Yeah.
I could build a house in my mind, in my sleep.
Right.
You know?
So you doing this with a crew, or you was kind of out there?
Yeah, we got us, you know, our subcontract just like every builder, you know, in the city or in pretty much in the nation, you know. But we have crews, you know, from ground up, you know, from excavating the lot, foundation, framing, roofing, drywall, paint, you name it.
Every part of the house has their own click of people that comes out and handles that kind of work. Right. What kind of competition do you feel? How competitive is this business, and how does the competitive nature of it affect you?
It is competitive, but in a way it's not, because there's a lack of housing. Yeah. Particularly for affordable housing. Right. You know, so, and most builders don't want to build affordable homes. Yeah. You know, why? Because it's not profitable. Okay. You know, when you look at the land costs, then you got some of the soft costs like construction drawings. You know, me designing myself, I have an advantage. So I don't have to, you know, if I'm building it, you know, for myself and selling it, I don't have that cost involved. Engineering costs. You got water and sewer taps. You know, these fees can be they will be in the thousands of dollars. Right. So if your margins are small on these affordable homes, you know, because affordable here in Houston is not like Miami, New York, Chicago, L.A., and you know, other places, San Francisco and whatnot. So you're looking at something $140,000 to maybe $200,000. Yeah, yeah. So how can a person get a home and they approve for $140,000? In this city, you can do it.
Yeah, yeah. The cost of living is low.
Well, not only that, this city has down payment assistance. They will give any home buyer up to $25,000 to put down on a home. And all you have to do is take a 8-hour course that may cost about $25.
Right.
You can split it up where you can take maybe 3-4 hours this day, 3-4 hours another day. And what you're doing is you're learning about the, home ownership.
Right.
And how to pay bills. That's what you learn in that 8-hour course. And you get a certificate. You take that certificate to the bank, and you'll get that $25,000 to be put down on a house.
Does your credit and anything have any bearing on that, or it just you take the course and you in? Can't be that easy.
It do.
Oh yeah, we got a real estate person in the building. I forgot. Yeah, what's up, D? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
You have to have at least a 580 credit score.
Okay.
To get this.
Well, that wiped out Murder One right now. I'm just joking. I'm $4.99 or something, man. But, yeah, go ahead, big brother.
So once you have that, you're pretty much good.
Yeah.
You do have to have like $500 they want you to put into it,
right,
to go along with it. So, you can't beat that. Right. Someone making $10, $15 an hour, they don't know they can get a house.
Right.
They may be renting. You can get a house right now.
Right. Wow. See, man, look, man, this is an episode that needs to be studied, y'all. We in a classroom right now. And if y'all are listening to this right now, listen to it again, because he's dropping so many just tidbits of knowledge, man. There's so much information that you can incorporate if you are trying to either get a home built or you trying to own a home, however you're trying to make it happen. He's covering it all, man. My big brother, Alexander Muhammad, is in the building. Give him your information again, just in case people didn't catch when the first person called in. Give him your information again.
Yeah, the number is 713-370-5383. Again, 713-370-5383.
No doubt. And the name of the company
is EDHB Custom Homes, and I have EDHB Custom Closets. The website is edhbcustomhomes.com and edhbcustomclosets.com. Either website, you can get to the other website.
To the other one, yeah, man. Y'all get into that. Now, you said that you was in real estate at one point, too.
Right.
That was early on?
From 1988.
Yeah.
Up until when I made that transition, when I knew I was going in the building, I was going to let it all go.
Right.
I still kept my license, but at a certain point, to do some of the things that I was going to do, even in investing, you really, in some cases, I could violate the Texas Real Estate Commission Act, so I was willing to let it go.
Right.
Because once my mind was fixed on building and what I knew at that point, I knew I wasn't going back.
You didn't want to because that's what I was going to ask. I mean, it's like, I don't know what the differences is, but I think part of the difference, I guess in your case, would be the fact that you had love for one. Right. And maybe the real estate was just a job, just something to see
man,
if
I loved it now,
so you love the real estate too?
Well, this the part that any realtor, if you listening, you go out there, you have some customers who want to get a home. Most may not get pre-approved.
Right.
Right. And they be looking at a home that they know they can't afford.
Right.
But they want to look at it anyway.
Right.
And you drive all over town showing homes, Now these are rookie mistakes, but I had to learn the hard way.
Right. You thinking these people homes. really serious about getting,
Right. And then they don't, we gonna wait. Or then they end up getting it with another realtor.
Right.
Oh, I done had everything. I done did everything you could do wrong, I've done it.
Man, I'd have been
now
hot.
I know how to do it right.
Ooh, that would have ran me hot, man. I done took this dude to 9 houses, and then then somebody else get that sale out for money. Yeah, it's kind of like a I guess too much of a gamble, and you got to put in too much time and that time may not actually pay off in the end.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. So
I feel for them out there.
Yeah.
But home values are way more expensive today than they was when I was selling real estate.
Right.
They making good money too.
Right. So you hit one or two a year. How many of those licks would you have to hit per year to really kind of feel like you doing all right as a realtor?
Oh, as a realtor?
Yeah.
Well,
either.
Man, I don't know. As a realtor, you probably have to get at least, I would think, 2 closings a month.
Yeah. A month. Yeah. Okay.
I would think.
Yeah.
Just to survive. But in terms of building, oh man, depends on the project.
Yeah, I got you. Because it's different. Different levels.
Yeah, one project could be.
Somebody might want an entire house built from a lot. Somebody might just want some little in and out stuff inside the house. I got you. Okay.
I did a lot of estimating on the commercial side too.
Yeah.
For actually other builders.
Right.
That's another thing. I'm kind of like a computer nerd in a way.
Right.
I love the technology. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know it just looking at it. And I don't talk about it too much. But I do have those skills.
We're going to take this caller, and then we're going to get into the commercial side of it as well, because we've been more on like just the home, personal home stuff. But we're going to take this call. I see the homie Vern Singleton is on the line. What's up, Big Vern? What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, big brother? How you doing, man? Peace, brother.
Blessed indeed.
Yes, pretty much, I have a couple of questions for the gentleman that's your guest speaker, I guess.
Yes,
I guess that's a good word to call him, huh?
That's my brother, my guest.
Okay, yes, that's your brother, and he's your guest speaker.
Yes,
okay. Sir. I'm in the process of I want to buy a home. Mm-hmm. I served my country, and they said I had a VA home loan.
Right.
But I'm kind of ignorant, and I don't mean ignorant as in ignorant meaning lacking knowledge on the certain aspects of how to get a home. I'm a black man. I come from New York. You know what I'm saying? And now Houston's my home. Matter of fact, I lived in Houston just as long as I lived in New York. You know what I'm saying? I got a year to go here, and then I'll be, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to tell my age, but I'm in that process, sir.
Okay.
And pretty much I would like to know, does the VA home loan, does that coincide with this this home buyer assistance thing that you said, or?
Yes, it can be. Mm-hmm. I know with the VA, I think you just have to put $1 down, right?
Yeah, I've heard a penny, I've heard $1, I've heard $0.25. I don't know.
Well, $1 is not that much anyway. But yeah, you can get that down payment assistance.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm listening.
It does have income limit restrictions, but for, I think, police, City of Houston employees.
Sir, I'm none of those. No.
Well, I think military too. And what else? I'm trying to think of all the things
that qualify you.
Yeah, even though you may have a high income, you still can get that down payment assistance if you're a first-time home buyer. And first-time home buyer don't mean that you had never owned a home. If you haven't owned a home in 5 years, you still considered a first-time home buyer.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that at all.
You got another question, Vern?
Yes, and you also said something about the credit score, because I think my credit's trash. But did you say 580?
Yes, that's right. Minimum.
Oh, well, K-Rino, you and Murder One. I ain't trying to knock y'all, but I think I'm there, yo.
Man, I was just joking around, man. I wouldn't know my credit score if it fell on my head, man. I can tell you my ghetto credit score. I can tell you that one. My hood credit score is about 1,000, but that's the best I could do, man.
That's what's up, brother. And hey, K-Rino, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I hit you on Messenger. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to. I'm still in the works with you. I got a lot of footage of you, brother.
Nothing but love, man. We appreciate you calling, Vern, and call us anytime, my brother. And thank you, man. We definitely be in touch, bro.
Oh, my brother, no problem, man. Thanks a lot, man. Have a good night.
Peace, family.
Thank you.
Peace, brother.
No doubt, man. My brother Alexander Muhammad is in the building giving us this game again. I want to tell y'all, man, y'all study this episode, man, because some shows that you can't just pick up everything just the first time you hear it. It's like a cold-blooded lyricist, and he's spitting on a song, and he's just so intricate and so metaphysical. You're not gonna get that on one time. You got to listen to it, rewind it, dissect it, figure out what he said, go to the dictionary. It's the same thing, man. A lot of our problem is that we are not knowledgeable about things beyond the basics that we see every day, like I spoke of earlier, whether it be music, whether it be, or even just basic labor jobs that they can just tell you go over there and mop that floor. We have to start to broaden our minds and start getting into fields that can pay us and that can set us up and that can free us. You know, you want ownership, man. You don't always want to be an employee. You want to be an employer. You want to be a CEO and a boss. And that's what my brother has been doing for basically close to 30 years. So it's going down. We'll take another call. We got Michael on the line. Go ahead, Michael.
Good. Hey, guys. How you doing tonight?
Fine. How you doing?
Hello.
Go ahead. Can you hear us?
I'm here. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us? We might have some must be muted out or something. We'll bring it back. Just call back if you can, my man. Call back if you can. Must have got some kind of bad connection, man. But what we was going to talk about was just the commercial side of building. And my assumption would be is that that's really, really, really where the big money would be at when you start getting some of these commercial contracts with these companies and these big buildings like that. So speak to that and let us know, have you ever, to use my street lingo, have you ever hit one of them kind of licks?
No, I haven't built a commercial building.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a lot of experience with them, but not from, the construction side of actually building them.
Right.
But, yeah, that area, well, is dominated. Construction, whether even it's residential, is dominated by 50-year-old white males,
Right. Right.
That's how the industry is. We have a lack of even trade contractors, across the board. And we have to get, a lot of, even our people, really don't understand the impact of what those trades could do for their lives, we just lacking in those areas.
Is it hard? Because I know as a contractor, y'all have to bid for certain situations.
Particularly in commercial.
Right.
I don't necessarily like bidding, but, you can do pretty good. But one thing about, this commercial side, the people who normally get those big prime contracts are those who have the bonding capacity, in the tens of millions of dollars.
Right, right.
And when you're small, you can't do those projects like that.
Gotcha.
So they have what they call the WMBE, certifications and all that. To me, at first, I really just didn't like it because it was to me, it's like a handout.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we'll give you this here because you black or minority or whatever, or you're a female.
Right.
No, I want you to give it to me because I have the skill,
you qualify,
the capability to really do the job.
Right.
But don't set aside, no 2 or 3%, and or whatever it may be.
Some crumbs. Yeah,
some crumbs, and then say, okay, well, you should be happy with that.
Right.
And a lot of us are happy with that.
Right.
But
are those like government instituted funding scenarios, or like just to keep people shut up, like this? Set this up so we can give them this little percentage to help them along, so they won't be crying about. Is it because based on what you're saying, it's not enough.
No.
No way, yeah.
You
So it's just a
know,
pacifier.
In this city, well, like Atlanta, right? When Maynard Jackson was mayor, he made sure that black contractors got 50% of the contracts at the airport. So he made a lot of black millionaires instantly.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Now he had that kind of power and authority. Now they fixed it to where, you know, the mayors don't have that kind of power and authority.
Ain't doing that no more.
You know? But right now, you know, Houston is a large international airport, and you know, there's always construction going on out there. But you know, the people who getting them, you know, they don't look like us.
Right. Man, how do we get to that point, man? Is it just gonna have to be a situation where we just how do we get to that point where we can start to kind of create a network where we are bouncing those economics off of each other and we getting those big contracts?
I think companies gonna have to learn how to form partnerships and syndications, you know, to where they can, you know, if you can't do it by yourself, you probably have to get with someone else.
Right.
And then unite and then try to go after it. It may be 2 or 3. But if you a company doing, let's just say, $1 million a year, you got 4 guys doing $1 million a year.
Right.
Well, it might make sense for them 4 to come together, and then they could probably do 20 or 30 or $50 million a year.
Absolutely.
But individually, you probably only gonna do $1 million.
Right.
Well, I think that ego says, well, I want to be in charge. I want to be the CEO, so I'm not going to get
partner up.
K-Rino builders.
Right.
You know, and we got to learn how to get over that at some point.
The unit, that's where unity comes into play.
Right.
Because anybody who has ever built up and been successful in this country and have reached that status, they have pooled their resources with others, and we have to follow suit, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. Michael, if you listening, call back. But we got Eddie on the line right now, and we're gonna take Eddie. What's going on, Eddie?
Hey, what's happening, Kay?
How you doing?
Eddie from San Antonio, man.
San Antonio in the building.
Yep. I just want to say, man, keep up the good work. I love the show. Haven't tuned in a couple of weeks, but you know, this is very educational for people, and you know, people need to hear stuff like this. They need to have the confidence to get out there and do something, you know, invest in something. Like the dude called earlier, he was trying to get a house. He wanted to know how to get a house. You know, they got these programs like your boy was just saying. What was your name, sir, again?
Oh, Alexander Muhammad.
Alexander Muhammad. Yes, he was talking about that program in Houston, the $25,000.
Yes, sir.
For new home buyers. I mean, that's awesome. And if you need a 580 credit score, that's fairly easy to obtain.
Right.
Especially if you start off at a young age, you know, 17, 18 when they start working.
Right.
Build up, get a little card, get a little discipline, you know, pay your gas on the card, pay your bill, pay the card off. Before you know it, you're going to have that credit score easy.
Right.
You know, and then apply for something. Stay in the house for 10 years, you got equity.
That's right.
You know, I'm just speaking off of experience, but sometimes people just need to make a phone call, or step into a bank, you know, and ask some questions. And like I said, get that credit score up.
No, we appreciate you, Eddie. We appreciate knowledge coming from all angles, man. Thank you for calling in. And because that's what we here to do, man. We here to educate on K-Rino Radio, man. Ain't no time to play around and waste. And I'm really happy that y'all are listening to my brother, because I've said for the 3rd time, y'all need to study this. I'm gonna be listening to it again, you know, because you just don't get it. You don't digest everything in one take. So we really honored to have our brother in the building. We got about 10 more minutes left. Is there anything else you want to say, big brother, that you want to bring to the table and inform people of and let people know?
Well, like I say, you know, that we do need more affordable housing. And if you have a 2-year work history, you can get you a home. And And that's one of the things, one of my mission is to help the last, the least, the left out, and the looked over to a better quality of housing.
Right.
That's like my mission. So whatever I can do, my mind is always thinking, when I see what the super rich have, how can I apply that to where the average person can have quality? It may not be as big,
Right.
It may not be 20, 30,000 square feet. But what if you can get good quality and, in something that's 2,000 square feet?
Yeah. Well, you have the same knowledge as the so-called big boys. We just got to get it to where we create that network where you can become that in terms of you are that in here. The status, we got to get you up to that status, bro. And we make the mistake a lot of times of just feeling like we don't have that those individuals in our circle that can do the same or better work than the ones who are put up on that pedestal, bro. So we with you 1,000%. And I thank you, bro. You my family, and I appreciate you, man. You welcome anytime to come on the show. And please give up your information one more time before we close it down.
Yeah, that number is 713-370-5383. That's 713-370-5383.
Yes, sir. Alexander Muhammad is in the building, man. And look, we're gonna let y'all look at these designs too. Let these sisters look. That's a woman's dream right there.
Shoe closet.
Look at that, everybody. Yeah. We got about 5 or 6 more minutes. We have my sister in the building, and we got some things that are coming up tomorrow. The great Miss V, Hush Entertainment, is in the building. I want to let her break down the activities that we got going on tomorrow, and tell us what's popping out here in the city of Houston. Go ahead, sis.
It's your girl, Miss V, the radio queen, Hush Radio Show. Tweet DJs in the building. Salute to you, K-Rino. Nothing but love. We started this 50 rappers, 50 meals. That's how we started it, but it's not just rappers. Business owners, anybody. Come out, bring a hot meal, water, whatever you can donate. Let's help the homeless, the less fortunate. Right now is how I feel. That's how I feel. Like, and I said I was gonna make sure I'm here every month. So I relocated to Atlanta, but I will be here every month to do this. So tomorrow, come out and let's make it happen. And even if you can't and you want to support, donate.
That's right.
Do you have a donation spot?
Yeah, no doubt. We'll be at 4200 San Jacinto. We're going to meet in that Fiesta parking lot, and then we're going to walk right across that street, and we're going to pass those meals out. So if y'all want to meet us there at 2 o'clock p.m., come on out, man. Just bring a chicken dinner or something, and we're going to pass them out and feed the homeless, man, because everybody can relate to being hungry, even if you can't relate to being homeless. So, and if you haven't been in that situation, as I said before, some of us ain't but one missed paycheck away from being in that situation. So always keep that in mind.
Amen. And you know what? If not a chicken dinner, water, chips, anything that they can, toiletries, whatever. Right. And I got my sister with me right now. Wicked Cricket's daughter is in the building right now.
Look. I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm glad you're here because me and Murder already talked about this.
Yes, sir.
We are going to do a Wicked Cricket tribute show one of these days, real soon, and I want to make sure that you're here, Christina's here, and anybody Wicked Cricket related where we can get up in here to show some love like that. Because
that's right.
The one thing that Wicked Cricket said to me before he passed when he was sick, he pulled me to the side and he told me personally, he said, man, I know you're going to keep my name alive. He said, I know. So I got to fulfill that obligation. So, we got you.
And you know what else? He was my mentor. I swear to God. He told me, you can do radio. When I thought I was scared. And look, I'm the radio queen now.
I'm on.
And on top of that, I saw my baby over here like day in and day out all the days before he passed. So to know what she went through, what we went through, like, yeah, it's important. Like that, he meant a lot to me, and she means a lot to me. So we're gonna make this happen, whatever we can do.
Shout out to Keisha.
Without a doubt, shout out to Keisha, the whole family, and I'm gonna let her shout out real quick, cause like we gonna do this show, and it's like say murder. We already laid out, it's already in the works, but we want to do it right. We want to get it organized. If you got anything you want to say, sis, you know you more than welcome. Oh, she chilling. Okay, well it's all good. But be ready to talk that night.
Hey, one thing about that, Cricket wasn't shy to talk, so.
Well, hey.
And what she said, it just choked me.
Yeah, no doubt. No, this emotion's kicking in.
It's hard to have your Superman, have this kryptonite inside of him, and it's nothing you can do, You don't want to be there, but every inch of you has to be there and watch him just deteriorate like this. And it was the hardest thing that I could ever go through in my life,
Yeah, true that.
So I'm really just honored to be here, and I'm honored to be there tomorrow because my dad would do that. My dad, if he was here, he would be out there feeding the homeless. That's what my dad would be doing because his heart was so big, He gave and loved everybody, no matter what you was, who you were, what you had, if you didn't, And I don't know, I'm just honored to be here.
Well, we honored to have you here, and you shall return. And it's all good.
I'm sorry. I know you miss him though. I'm sorry, but I had to say the real though.
That's love though. That's love.
We were there together days that like the days when nobody else was there. We were there together.
I was bringing in cases of Ensure and Boost and fruit and waters and
that's
just
how we
everything
met.
for him
And I was laying right there in his bed.
Well, look.
And we've been like this ever since.
Y'all ain't gonna make me cry up in here. Shout out to the OG Wicked Cricket. And like I said, we're gonna do a tribute to our brother because we definitely love and we miss him. I want to thank my brother Big Alexander Muhammad for coming through. Miss V, y'all know what it is, man. Let me get these shout outs real quick, man. Shout out to Chris W. Robinson over in the Pulaski unit out there in Livingston, Texas, man. Much love to you. Thank you for the letters you be sending in, bro. We got y'all on our mind at all times, man. Shout out to Pete Russell, Pulaski unit. One love to you also, man. I don't know how much time you got. I don't know if you're coming home, when you're coming home, or if you're never coming home. If y'all listening, trust me, man, we got y'all on our mind. To my brother K Water, he up there, and I think K Water the move. But shout out to my brother K Water and everybody that's on lock that's been listening to all of the shows on KPFT, whether it be Connected Dots, Damage Control, the Prison Show. We thank y'all so much for listening, and we have y'all on our mind, and we want to see y'all on the outside so y'all can come through and tell us y'all story and be an example for those who are still up in there, man. So it is what it is. Your big brother K-Rino once again. We'll see y'all next week on K-Rino Radio live at 11 p.m. every Friday night. Love y'all, man. Peace and blessings.